Welcome to our continuing series, Questions and Answers from the works of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. Today, Food, Part 1, from Sri Aurobindo. About food, tea, etc., the aim of yoga is to have no hankerings, no slavery either to the stomach or the palate. How to get to that point is another matter. It depends often on the individual. With a thing like tea, the strongest and easiest way is to stop it. As to food, the best way usually is to take the food given you, practice non-attachment, and follow no fancies. That would mean giving up the Sunday indulgence. The rest must be done by an inner change of consciousness and not by external means. It is a mistake to neglect the body and let it waste away. The body is the means of the sadhana and should be maintained in good order. There should be no attachment to it, but no contempt or neglect either of the material part of our nature. In this yoga, the aim is not only the union with the higher consciousness, but the transformation, by its power, of the lower, including the physical nature. It is not necessary to have desire or greed of food in order to eat. The yogi eats not out of desire, but to maintain the body. That disgust for eating is rather an excessive feeling. One should eat for maintenance of the body without attaching any other importance, but without repulsion. The vital of most people is of this kind, brackets, too weak to restrain its desires for pleasure, except in a few who are indifferent to sex or to food desire, or to both, by temperament and nature. There is always something in the lower vital which is recalcitrant and takes a pleasure in following its own way and disregarding the higher dictate. And there are always external forces hostile to the yoga, which try to take advantage of its obscurities, revolts, and weaknesses. Neither neglect this turn of the nature, food desire, nor make too much of it. It has to be dealt with, purified, and mastered, but without giving it too much importance. There are two ways of conquering it. One of detachment, learning to regard food as only a physical necessity, and the vital satisfaction of the stomach and the palate as a thing of little or no importance. The other is to be able to take without insistence or seeking any food given, and to find in it, parentheses, whether pronounced good or bad by others, end parentheses, the equal rasa, not of the food for its own sake, but of the universal ananda. But the latter comes only when one can live in the cosmic consciousness, or rise into the overmind. And for this you are not yet ready. So the first way is the one you should keep in view. Do not trouble your mind about food. Take it in the right quantity, parentheses, neither too much nor too little, end parentheses, without greed or repulsion, as the means given you by the mother for the maintenance of the body, in the right spirit, offering it to the divine in you, then it need not create tamas. It is much better to eat the meal in silence, or at any rate, in quietness. It is the attachment to food, the greed and eagerness for it, making it an unduly important thing in the life. That is contrary to the spirit of yoga. To be aware that something is pleasant to the palate is not wrong. Only one must have no desire, no hankering for it, no exultation in getting it, no displeasure or regret at not getting it. One must be calm and equal, not getting upset or dissatisfied when the food is not tasty or not in abundance, eating the fixed amount that is necessary, not less or more. There should be neither eagerness nor repugnance. To be always thinking about food and troubling the mind is quite the wrong way of getting rid of the food desire. Put the food element in the right place in the life, in a small corner, and don't concentrate on it, but on other things. The attachment to good food must be given up, as also the personal attachment to position and service. But it is not indispensably necessary for that purpose to take an ascetic diet or to give up all means of action such as money and service. The yogin has to become nisva, in this sense that he feels that nothing belongs to him but all to the divine, and he must be ready at any time to give up all to the divine. But there is no meaning in throwing away everything in order to be externally nisva, without any imperative cause.